got some gauze that I am just going to put on here. If there's an open wound, it will stick to it, and in this situation, that's okay. So a little piece for padding and to keep things clean. Cast padding offers lots of cushioning. Up and around, figure eight around the ankle, down and around, in front of the toes, loop under the foot, figure eight, up around the ankle, loop around, down around the toes. And this foot I am going to do one more round since I want that extra padding. And yes, this is overkill. Cast padding, to break it, you just pull and it tears.
By your hand? It was by your hand.
Yeah. He is not going to be having these on for a super long time, so I am just going to put wrap over that cast padding. Holding it up by his ankle, down, around, under the foot. You have to loosen it a little bit first, otherwise it just gets stuck. Up over the foot, figure eight, around the back of the ankle. Down, around, over the toe. Under the foot. Figure eight, up around the ankle. You do not want this to be tight. You're just holding that padding in place. And you are trying to cover the padding so that it's not getting wet. Loop around the back of the ankle to help hold it in place. And I am going to fold this up so that you can find it more easily. The edge is right at the tip of his toe. Let's go for the other foot. And I want to make sure that this is not too tight when he walks around. This one doesn't need it as much, but I don't want him to relapse because of walking on that too much.
Is that gauze or is that the padding?
This is just the gauze.
Okay.
Cut a piece of padding. And keep your supersized bandage scissors. You'll be going through it. You'll be using them at some point for something. There. So I'm holding the edge with my finger. Loop down under the foot. I'm right-handed, so the other foot is actually easier for me.
I know, but it's okay.
Around the back of the foot, under the foot, figure eight around the ankle, loop around the toes, under the foot, figure eight around the ankle, under the toes, and apparently I'm ending right there. So the vet wrap.
Hold up, bud.
You may potentially be able to buy some kind of neoprene booty for him online. There are people on Etsy that make them for chickens all the time. You could contact one of those shops and see if they would be able to make booties for a guinea pig. Usually you Velcro them in place.
And they would go over top of these bandages?
You
or
would be doing that instead of the bandages.
Oh, this is like for
Post-recovery.
Post-recovery apparel.
Yeah.
Honey,
Oh, fun.
honey. You're okay. You're okay.
So he's there, freaking out because his back end is dangling.
It's okay, bud. It's okay. It's okay. Bud.
Can you rearrange or try and get him a little more comfortable? Guinea pigs are much more comfortable if their feet are on the ground. Whether that is your hand, a table, whatever it is, if he's lifted in the air and has his feet dangling, he's going to be much more sensitive about it.
Charles. Okay.
So as I'm holding this, I'm not putting any pressure on his foot as much as I can avoid. I'm trying to pinch the bandage itself, not his toes. Down below. 3.
Charles.
Poor Charles.
It's like, I'm just being dramatic right now.
At the moment, yes, he is.
I would think that what you're doing is making him far more comfortable.
In the long run, yes. In the short term, he doesn't believe that.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and put him down so we can watch him walk. On that rubber mat should be fine. Okay, he's putting weight on both of them. It's like fairly equally. Yeah, looks like it should be good.
It's kind of a tentative touch there.
On that right one. Yep, I see it.
Maybe he's testing how the bandage is.
The weight is always going to be different every time. The biggest risk is getting it too tight up by his wrist. If the vet wrap is too tight, it will cut off circulation. It will make for major problems.
So that's something to be conscious of. Do not get it too tight.
Do not get it too tight.